When you think about, like, if I get a speeding ticket or parking ticket even, right, I pay it. And that's the end of it. And if that's, not necessarily an option for a lot of people as it is in KCK, in Kansas, over 200,000 people have suspended driver's licenses. SLIP is designed to help individuals who are suspended for either failing to pay traffic fines or failing to appear at court. The majority are suspended not for being reckless on the road or being a public safety risk. The majority are suspended because they're in poverty. The suspended license laws and regime in Kansas, it certainly disproportionately impacts low-income residents of Kansas. So when in Kansas, if you fail to pay a traffic ticket, they can suspend your license. If you miss a court date, they'll suspend your license. So our role has been to kind of step in, we defend them on those charges, and then we stay with them to try to resolve the license and get it reinstated so they can be a valid driver again. So it's a bit of a bureaucratic maze to kind of weed through and figure out exactly what's going on a license and how to resolve it. Someone gets a speeding ticket, natural thing, right? We all get speeding tickets. If they're unable to pay financially that speeding ticket, the laws right now impose greater and greater fines for that, right? So it just kind of spirals them into a cycle of being beholden to these courts, owing money.
Going through the process is going to take a great deal of money, number one. It's going to take a lot of time, missing work, a lot of time in court, in and out of court. Yeah, extremely difficult. Without Micah, I'd probably still be during the process. Seriously, I'd probably still be in this process easily.
The car is vital to getting to work. When that license is suspended and their ability to drive is taken away, it makes it even harder to make the money to pay the ticket that you couldn't pay in the first place.
It'll cause a great deal of problems as far as making a livelihood, driving back and forth to work, and then just not being able to go do basic functions necessary, visiting my daughter, grandkids, which I love to do.
Had an interview for one driving job, but they did not hire me because I did not have a license. That was literally the only thing that held me up. I don't think that they realized that that's really the underlining. You can't go to the hospital, you can't go to the doctor, you can't go anywhere without having a license.
A pushback I'll get from people is, these people should have handled their tickets and whatnot. And of course they should, right? But there's an economic barrier to a lot of people. And there's also the bureaucratic barrier. I mean, when you are trying to deal with multiple different government agencies, it can become convoluted and difficult. You're relying on court clerks and people at the Department of Revenue and, all of these kind of people in different departments that don't communicate to each other to make sure the right things are happening, and it just becomes very tough. And if you're, a single mom who's trying to work and raise children, you don't have time to take off to deal with these issues.
I was like, do you know how long I've been trying to do this by myself?
There's a lot of people that you're living check to check, paycheck to paycheck, and one thing like that can lead to another, and now you're up the creek.
My clients often will talk about kind of the fear and anxiety and the stress that accompanies every time they get in a car.
Driving like that is, the anxiety level is so high, the stress level is so high. Yeah, that anxiety is the worst thing.
It was supposed to be halftime, but the need was greater than I think anticipated. And so it's basically been everything I do. We were hoping to do about 300 a year, and we surpassed that in probably about 6 or 7 months. In the year we've gotten about 80 licenses reinstated in that time. And we're approaching, I think, $100,000 in fines and fees waived. We have clients who have been able to get a job because they're able to drive, they're able to get better jobs because they're able to start applying to places and go a little further for those jobs.
Being normal again and not feeling like a criminal just for driving a huge weight off my shoulders, number one. And now I can drive without looking in the mirror. A lot of stress relief, great deal of joy after. And then now I can go make a living. Just a total blessing, total relief. And actually, also this has helped my insurance rates go down.
It's like a weight off of your shoulders. I feel so free. You don't have a clue. He was amazing. He was amazing.